Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Timothy Spiers. I'm a content creator and marketeer, and I run Slipstream Creative Agency, the show's sponsor. Well, we'll be here every Tuesday at 12:30 discussing video marketing and production and all that good stuff. The purpose of this channel is to demystify video marketing and help all you guys create better content and distribute it effectively, creating better businesses for a better world. So today we're going to be talking to Olando Salina, SEO and digital marketing expert and entrepreneur. We'll be discussing video marketing and drilling down into how it helps your SEO, why it's important, and what we can do about it right now. So I just want to welcome in the audience today. So hello and welcome to our live stream. Thanks for joining us. If you like to just put in your comments below where you're from, it's very interesting to see what part of the country you're from or what part of the world you're in, and then we can welcome you into the live stream. So just to set the scene a little bit, of course, video is the hot sauce right now. I think we're all looking for really powerful ways to attract, connect with our audiences in a different and more engaging way. And, video certainly does that. I also believe that we're fed up with being sold to, and I think we just are looking to be more informed and educated so we can make our own decisions. We're all intelligent people, and we like to research things these days. I think it's become such a world of information. We know how to look for information, but we're also looking for wisdom. So I think this is quite a fascinating thing about video and video content. So also, of course, with the pandemic, we've all become much more used to using video, communicating using video. And some people hate it, some people like it. We've certainly had to become more used to it. But I think we've started to realize there's a lot of value with video and communicating in that way. It helps us build relationships, stay connected with people. And I just think it helps build trust as well when we can see and hear people and interact with them in a visual way as you can. So I just think it's really put it on our horizon, and it's really highlighted it in that way. Of course, it really helps, I think, build your personal brand, grow your personal brand. There's a lot of chatter around about personal branding. And, I think you can't do anything without affecting your personal brand. If I've got a bit of an attitude right now, that affects my personal brand and your perception of me. So when we look at video, it's like, how can we control that, or how can we positively influence that? So also, of course, today we're looking at SEO and video, and the algorithms for the different channels where you can use your video are really set to favor video content and live streaming. And certainly on this platform, LinkedIn and other platforms, YouTube, etc. But if we look at LinkedIn, that's live streaming they're quite new to live streaming because they're really favoring creative content. They're trying to bring more creative people into the space, that the algorithms are set to really push creative content and video content. So you're going to get a much better response from that visual content that you're putting out there. So, for example, LinkedIn no longer is for just corporates or for someone to have your CV and to try and hopefully get jobs and communicate in that way. It's become much more of a social platform, and there's a lot more creative people that are being drawn into it in a really positive way. And video really plays into that really well. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. I'm really interested also to know what type of businesses are you in? So drop in the comments, what type of business are you? Because that really helps us understand who video marketing is relevant to in this space right now. And so we can talk into that. Great. So a few fun facts here. People watching videos are 39% more likely to share the videos, 36% more likely to comment, and 56% of people are more likely to like the content. Now, of course, liking it pushes you up the algorithms. Shares and comments put you in front of new audiences. So spreading your content even further and the people you're connecting with and growing your audience. So guys, please do hit us with any questions you have. I've actually got a ton of questions for Olando, which I'm really looking forward to getting into. But if you've got some specific questions, we'll try and get to as many as we can as we go along. Just wanted to welcome Dora into the live stream. Hi, Dora. One of my connections on LinkedIn. Nice to see you in the house. So today we're going to be speaking with Olando. Olando has worked with many startups and large international companies and was responsible for the successful launch of luxury brand of interior paint in the UK. Olando and I have worked for about 4 years now on a broad spectrum of clients from retail, fashion brands, food, tech, financial services, and the health sector. So hi, Olando. I'm glad you're here to share the journey with me. How are you today?
Hi Tim, thanks for inviting me to talk to everyone today. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, I've got you loud and clear. Nice to have you on board.
Brilliant. I've ventured out of my home office today and working in the London office just for a bit of change of scenery. Didn't like the rain this morning, but otherwise I'm good.
Yeah, and the earlier start, of course.
yeah, and the 2-hour journey.
Yeah, well, at least you probably won't have the children running in, so that's helpful. Of course, it is live, so if you hear dogs barking or children screaming, let me know, because I'll be really concerned, because I haven't got any babies or dogs in the house, so I will be quite concerned. So, Olando, I've got a ton of questions for you. So tell me, why is SEO important?
SEO, or search engine optimization, as we all know, is one of the most important aspects of business online today. Right. Ranking as high as possible organically is crucial to success, and we also need to follow, quite closely the changing algorithms and adapting content and keywords to these changes. When Google makes a change or shift, or there's a shift in consumer behavior, SEO tends to follow. In 2020, we saw a massive increase in e-commerce businesses for obvious reasons. So more brands are going online, and this has made the desire to rank higher organically more of a necessity than a want. So it's not just important optimizing pages for SEO. We need to pay attention to the ever-changing trends. And use what will work best that will suit the changing algorithms as well.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, actually, because as you say, one of the things that came out of 2020 is the importance of getting online, or if you're already online, to really ramp it up. And so a lot of people started to look at the video marketing, but SEO and all that good stuff. So I think that's really interesting.
And building websites as well. I mean, many businesses, in my experience, have actually created websites or made their websites e-commerce for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. So what sort of emerging trends have you really noticed, from the end of last year and going into this year?
I've seen 3 trends in particular that has emerged that will have a major effect on SEO, and that's namely video content, FAQs, and voice search.
Yes.
I mean, there's lots of content about these three trends online. Obviously, for this session, we'll be focusing on video.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's really interesting, actually. I just wanted to say hi to Dora there. She's there, and we've got Abu's joined the house now. Hi. Let us know where you're linking in from, guys. Be interesting to know. So, Olando, just for people that aren't 100% sure, what SEO is, can you just give us a quick overview, please, and how it works?
Yeah, sure. I'll try and keep it as textbook as possible. So SEO, or search engine optimization, is the practice of increasing the quality and quantity of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. Now, let me give an explanation of how it might work. So Google, which is one search engine, they send out crawlers, and these crawlers goes out and gathers information based on the content that you put on the site, all over the internet. And these crawlers, they bring in ones and zeros. That's how they get the information. And they build what you call a search index. So this index is then fed through the algorithm, ever popular algorithm, and tries to match all that data with the search query that you have put forward.
Yeah.
I mean, there are lots of additional factors that go into search engine algorithms.
Yeah.
But that's another session altogether. So you could probably invite me back for that one.
Yeah, I think it just to have a short snap of that, I kind of start to glaze slightly. You get quite deep into the technical, and that's why I guess we have digital experts.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. But how can video help SEO?
Right. So video content. So how does that work? So obviously, SEO is one of the best ways for business to be seen by the target audience. When people use search engines, they're doing a targeted search. They're actively looking for something that you're offering, your service or your product, etc. And making sure that your site is the first thing that users see is crucial. So having videos actually adding videos to your website will help in that search process, in the search with the search algorithms, put it that way. Yeah. I mean, most of the people listening today would probably have already taken some steps to boost SEO. They may have done other things that they're aware about. So, created blogs or articles, done some keyword research, hired some sort of technical expert. But this is again specifically about video and how this actually can help. So aligning your content, your internal content strategy with the search engine algorithms, and prioritizing that will help with the transparency of what Google actually does, or is looking for. Sorry.
Right. Okay. What about you using your descriptions, keywords, and tags for your video SEO? Right.
So let me just break it down for you. So keywords, descriptions, and tags. So again, when you create a video, you don't just create a video for creating a video's sake, right?
Right.
You create a video for a specific purpose, right? So whether it's for a specific campaign, to promote a product, or as I said, or a service, and it has to go on a relevant page, so that when someone is putting in a search query, that when they land on that particular page, that the video content is related to the search query.
Yeah.
And also, additional information on that page is still relevant to the search query.
Right. Yeah. I think, what I find really interesting is, people get the idea that, video helps algorithms and let's just churn it out and let's just get a load of content out there. But kind of my take on it is, you need to be doing purpose-driven content. If I just hammer LinkedIn with just short snippets that not very informative, they're just all about me, and they just don't have a great value, it's not going to get picked up very well on algorithms, or your audience are going to drop off pretty quick. So I think
another tip here, Tim. So with video as well. So when Google shows a video thumbnail as a search result, I think it says, is according to Bright Edge, if I remember correctly, 26% of search results, the users of the 26% of search results are more likely to click on the snippets that have a video thumbnail. So you get a higher click-through rate if you have a video and a snippet from your search result.
Okay, Olando, I've just got a couple of interesting questions coming in here. From Abu, he's asking, how regularly should one post to create traction? Great question.
Post video or post content in general? Is this on your website? Sorry to answer your question with a question. I have to be quite specific with my answer. So,
okay, well, let's dive in here. Let's talk video.
Okay. So I would say it depends on how your strategy, right? Your strategy is very, very important. Right? So if your strategy is first of all, is a product or service, and your strategy, part of your strategy is video content, then obviously you need to create content to promote the video, promote the business itself, promote the product or service, promote the business itself, and the more you can produce about the products or services that you offer, the benefits, so that you can educate your target audience, the better, right? So I would say, if I can give a number, if you can do one a month, that would be good. And then you can also turn that into a blog, you can turn that into a podcast, you have your multiple versions of content created or extracted from that one video.
Okay, like really fascinating. So, what big strategic changes have you seen in 2021?
Well, interesting you should say that. Video content itself, video has been around for a long time, right? But the increase of people using or including video in their strategies is something that has changed quite tremendously in 2021. I mean, just look at the success of YouTube and the recent short form videos like the apps like Instagram Reels and TikToks and so on. While these are popular with the younger audiences, they have the ability to convey large amounts of information in a short period of time. And video, as you know, Tim, being a videographer yourself, it is powerful for storytelling. YouTube has over 1 billion hours of video content watched every day.
It's astounding, isn't it?
1 billion hours a day. That's
I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it? I'm just like blown away with those figures. Just welcoming Lou into the house. Hey guys, nice to have you here from LinkedIn. So Olando, another great question here. How has the explosion of smartphones played a part in video content?
Okay, right. Well, video content has the additional benefit of being easy to view on mobile devices. And if we look at statistics, more people spend more time on mobile devices than they do on the desktops. Think about it. People consume more media, they research products and services, they even shop from tablets and smartphones. Everything is done online. You use your mobile phone to tap in and out of the, on the underground. So the value of content that can capture the attention of mobile viewers is extremely useful. Your average social media user is more likely to respond and engage to a short video talking about your product than reading a paragraph or snippet of information. I think there's a bit of research as well that I think 40% of users have better response to visual content than that of text. And this has led to more people wanting to see more video content from the brands that they support.
Well, I was reading something last night, which I thought was fantastic, really interesting. And it was some scientific research that was done. And from video content to text-based content and how much information we retained. They did a study and it was just marginally better with video. But what was really interesting, now bear in mind, these people, there was controlled test in a university, so people knew they were being tested. So there's that. But they also tried the test when people were like really tired, so they'd had a late night, and then they did it again. And what was interesting is the people that had learnt through video retained much more information, learnt much more than the people that were learning from reading-based content. So quite interesting that. So, does video just benefit SEO directly?
Short answer is no.
Let's move on then. Thank you for that answer.
No problem. I hope that answers the question. Google's algorithms are increasingly prioritizing websites with video content. Yeah. And that's not just something you want to ignore. 93% at least of online experiences start with a search engine, right? So you want to do everything to appear on that crucial first page, and organically in the just under the ads on the Google search.
Yeah. Cool. How do you create high quality video that will boost SEO then, as opposed to just low quality video, just content? What's your thoughts on that?
There's so many different schools of thought on this, that video needs to be high production. And it all depends on your business. So if you have let's say a restaurant and you have lots of turnaround in your business, you can get away with like the LinkedIn lives, the Instagram lives on your mobile phone. But obviously, if you as part of your business development plan, your strategy, that there are certain large campaigns that you're putting forward. It is very, very important that you take the time and you invest the money and resources to creating high quality video. Obviously with a specific goal in mind. Video gives you a boost, which allows more people to see your site. And it allows more people to click through to those links. They won't actually stay on the site very long if the video quality is poor. And that could actually be detrimental to the actual ranking. So imagine you landing on a site from a snippet you've seen, and the video is poor quality, or the content on the page is poor quality. Your rank could actually drop because of that, because you'll increase your bounce rate on Google, and then Google will see that, all right, that's not good. People are not getting the results they're looking for. So any sort of thing that you've put in place to help, and you built up that rank over time, because it doesn't happen immediately, well, literally you can lose in an instant. So I would say invest in quality video that's purpose driven.
I agree. And I think also, if the content's not relevant, and people are going there and finding content that's not relevant, or the title's misleading, the thumbnail's misleading, and they go there, then that seriously going to be detrimental. If audio is so bad you can't continue watching the video, so people keep bouncing off, that's going to seriously be detrimental. I always find when we talk about these things, I don't want to put off people that are creating video, that are using phones, etc. But I encourage them just to be thoughtful about, how you're using it. How's your lighting, how's your audio? There's some very inexpensive ways of getting better audio and getting better lighting, when you're purchasing it, or you're going near a window, or there's other things that just all help the quality. And to think about your title, and is it relevant to your audience and relevant to the video you've created? So I think people need to be very mindful of that. Obviously, we're content creators, so high quality video, of course, we'd recommend. But all our search data from our clients suggests that as soon as we start putting out some videos with slightly higher production value, that said, we're not talking, multi-thousand-pound big productions, but where it's just more strategically created, when it's planned properly, and it has that slightly more professional element. Same time, what's trending is quite lifestyle production at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we've enjoyed quite a lot of that over the years working together, where we've had very good briefs and very vague briefs as to what the clients want to create.
Yes.
Again, a big part of the process is the brief and what you want to achieve, and our interpretation of that based on the briefs that we've received. And I must say that at least 10 out of 10 of each of the videos that has been created over the time has actually served its purpose and is still working for these clients today.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to jump on that comment of yours there, Olando. Top tip for everyone out there: create a brief that is going to really excite the producer. If you want to sell it to them so they can create something that they can sell. So a great brief is so important, and a thoughtful brief. Of course, we help people create briefs, but I think putting value on a good brief is so important, and that's all about strategy and planning. So,
and I'll add to that, Tim, as well.
Yeah, go on.
because again, we've experienced this. So also having branded assets available. Creating a video, a great brief, but your logo, for example, or your brand colors isn't set, and your logo is a poor quality because it was designed on one of those online tools that just pings out a logo for you. Spend some time behind your branding, because this is a digital footprint of who you are and your brand that's going to be there forever. So take the time to invest in it.
And of course we start talking about the customer journey and etc. Right?
We'll
go off on a tangent here, I think.
Exactly. Digress.
So just to help people out there, Olando, have you got any tips for them to optimize their videos and their marketing efforts?
Yes. Okay. So a few tips are obviously creating video, purpose-driven video, professional production or otherwise. Where you put it is important. So ensure you put it on your website. Right, first of all. So creating the video is not just enough. You need to publish it somewhere that makes sense. The brand video fits nicely in your About Us page, for example, on your home page. A product video will fit nicely, was a great asset on an e-commerce site on the product page. So it helps to close that sale, I would say.
Okay. Really interesting. So I just want to welcome Sam into the house. Sam's apologizing for coming late. Sam, you can watch the replay.
Yes,
but I know you're going to hit us with a really good question, right? So
let me have another tip for you while Sam is coming up with a question.
Well, I was going to give him the 30-second countdown, actually.
So next, sorry, I have to wave my arms around because I'm in one of those buildings. If I don't move,
can you just jump up and down for a minute?
Give me 1 second to get the light back on.
We talked about this in our lighting test, and if he doesn't move around for 30 seconds, he's in a WeWorks office, but the lighting goes out. So have you jumped up and down and done some star jumps?
Yes. It's always good to do your bit to save the planet. So if there's no movement, the light goes off.
Right,
My train of thought now. So, okay, next tip. Give your video some context, right? So, for example, publishing your video on a blank page on your website is not good practice. I don't think anyone will do that, but I have seen it where there's a video and then there's a title and there's nothing else. So be sure to embed your video where it makes sense and surround it with other written and visual content that actually relates to the video itself.
Right.
You might even include a transcript of the video to target more keywords and then turn that visual, any visual into graphics as a downloadable document. So all of that will help, because then Google will understand how your video fits into the content of the page, and then your results will be better, the search results.
No, I think that's key. I mean, just to open that up a little bit more, we take our videos and we transcribe them, and then we'll put them on a blog with the video. So we've got all that text-based content and the video-based content. Some people like to refer to some of the information, so we can have jump links to the text-based content. For the crawlers, search engine, that's really key because you make sure you've got all your keywords embedded in there. So that really will tremendously help. So you're really doubling up your efforts because you've got the video based and you've got the text based. So exactly. Repurposing your content.
Yes, exactly. And before I continue, Sam is popped something up there.
Right. Let's bring him in. Sam, that's a lot of writing you put there. This might take us away. Thoughts on creating video for different platforms like YouTube versus LinkedIn, for example. Can you use the same content everywhere or specialize the content for each? Okay, fantastic question. There's kind of two sides to that. Yes, you can put the same content on across platforms, and no, you can't.
Let's not be confusing at all.
And shouldn't. So some platforms will work well. One thing you've got to remember is the length of video. So you could put, an hour on YouTube, but you can only put 10 minutes on LinkedIn. You can only put 1 minute on Instagram. Okay, so that's not going to work. So what you want to also be doing is thinking about, where do I want to grow my audience? Where's my sort of home? So is that LinkedIn? Is that YouTube? So let's say you want to build your brand on YouTube, and then you could create shorter versions, and then say to watch and then at the end of it, you can put to continue watching, go to my YouTube channel. The same with LinkedIn and Twitter. So I would use them like that. That's one point. Another point is it depends on your business and if you've got different audiences hanging out in different places. So, if you're a fashion-based business and you're big on Instagram, it's very visual, the type of video content you'd be putting on there would be quite different to the type of video content you might be putting on LinkedIn. So in LinkedIn, you might be working on your personal brand more, whereas on Instagram, you might be looking at your business brand and your products and your creative side of your business, editorial videos and that kind of thing. That's my take for the moment. Orlando, what have you got to add in there?
I think you've actually covered it, Tim, because the different platforms, what differs is not just the length, but the dimensions of each video. So, for example, if you're doing an Instagram story or reel, let's say reel because you have a minute there, that's vertical. Whereas if you go YouTube or LinkedIn, it's a horizontal. Yeah, so the context of the video as well is very different in terms of the shape, the time that is on each platform. But I think, Tim, you covered all the different aspects. Depending on where the business that you're in, the business that you're in, the platforms that are each attracting each different audience, whether it be B2B or B2C, and the messages you want to portray and where it'll be more likely to be captured. Yeah,
and I think the thing is if your main audience is on one specific platform, or you're really focusing on one specific platform, do use the other platforms and put short snippets pointing back to your key platform, because again, that helps your digital footprint. So in search, etc., you're cropping up the whole time, but you're pointing people back to your main platform that you're trying to grow and connect with your audience.
Yeah, so, I'd say probably make that your website. If you want, the end result is to get people to sign up for something, to purchase a service or product. You want to try and ultimately lead people back to your site where you can try and close that sale.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So guys, keep the questions coming in and we'll see if we've got time to answer some more. I mean, we're really pushing over half an hour, but I've just got a couple more questions actually, Olando, if you're happy to just dig into a couple more.
Before you go, Tim, before you jump onto the next thing, in terms of tips, because people might be interested in that still, tips for optimizing your content. I would just add two things in quickly before you jump on. So ensure that your video educates and inspires. It talks about your products and services, and be consistent. You can't get all the muscles in the world or be fit from one exercise. You keep doing it, and also don't forget the technical details that on the back end, so that when the search engine crawls, they find you for the relevant keywords and terms.
Yeah. And I think that's right. We sort of expect instant results. We're so we're kind of really impatient, aren't we? We want it now. We're such a culture of we want it now. And there's some short-term gain, but also there's the long-term game. And I totally agree. I've just got another interesting question coming in from Abu on YouTube. And he's interested to know our suggestions on how do we approach videos for more mundane sectors like data vendors.
Interesting.
Over to you.
Give me the
go, Olando.
As I mentioned before, Abu, it's creating videos that educates, right? So obviously your target audience, use your services for a particular reason. Right, there are people who will be new to your sector, who's not really familiar with how things work or how your business works or the benefits of using your service. So I would say creating videos that educates and shows them the benefits of the service, how easy it is to use, and a few case studies of people actually achieving their goals from your service will help. Yeah, and there's always, and Tim can tell you, there's always ways of making things a bit sexy, even data for data vendors, for example. There's part of your branding to make a statement, a more visual statement based on around your products and services, without being tacky. So you can work with a creative person like Tim or myself, for example, to come up with ways of showcasing your brand, your services, in a light where it's actually attractive but tasteful.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right, Olando. And Abu, we're a creative agency, and that's where we help people just dive in there, and we come up with work with people to bring out the creative ideas and to how to make it engaging content. Basically, we've just been working with a mortgage company that's launching a new app. And we've done like 84 short videos. We've used actors, we had some nice clothes styling, we've put some interesting backgrounds in, there's some cool music, and we've done it very fresh and contemporary, and lots of little short videos, bits of information to help people on their journey. So it's providing value, providing information, and what could seem like quite a dry subject is now quite engaging content and very useful content and fun to watch. Lots of ways of slicing I can't remember what the phrase is, but you know what I mean. Cutting the cake or something like that. Where did I get to my last questions?
No, because I cut you because I had it in my head. I wanted to get it out.
Well, I suppose I just had a question around what information does Google use to rank you? Like we talked about title, tag information, etc.
Quite a number, really, and that will continue to change as Google changes and evolves and the algorithm changes. But you're looking at things like title tag information, audience retention on the pages, where they come from, backlinks, keywords and meta descriptions, meta tags, the videos, obviously, as we're talking about now, the length of the video, the quality of the video, the context of the video in relation to the page it's on, the number of subscribers that are watching your video, sharing the video, comments, likes and dislikes. So all of these together are used to rank.
Yeah, okay, that's really useful. So, Dude, have you got any final tips for us?
Let's see.
Like you haven't covered enough.
Okay, so tip one, and most of you might already know this, but Google is the first, obviously the largest search engine in the world. The second, followed by YouTube, right? The second largest search engine in the world. So Google is far more likely to rank videos that are hosted on YouTube,
right? Yeah.
That hosted on other platforms. So hosting on YouTube is one of your best bets.
Yeah.
And one of my idols in SEO, Neil Patel, he keeps saying that video SEO is still underutilized. So now is a great time to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched last week. He did an amazing video with Restream actually about in 2021 how video and live video is just the space to be in, and it's going to absolutely explode. So yeah, interesting comment there.
Yeah.
Well, Olando, thank you so much for your time. It's been educational and absolutely fascinating. And clearly, there's an awful lot involved, and it can be daunting, but having a good strategy obviously is essential. And we'll be diving into that in further broadcasts, of course. But yes, if you need any advice or some tips or anything, you can direct message us, and we'll get back to you. We're happy to chat and open up any conversations there. So I just wanted to say next week, which is the 13th of July, we'll be live streaming again at 12:30. And we'll be talking to a young entrepreneur, Tom Gregory. He's a personal trainer who wants to take his business online. We're going to follow his journey week by week on this show, where we'll help him with strategy, content production, and video marketing. So we will be doing a live case study. So thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Olando, thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys, for listening in.
Okay, thanks very much.